people get vaccinated, less people are testing positive for the coronavirus. 847 new infections have been reported overnight in Maryland.
It's the lowest number of new cases in a single day since early November, but 1,100 people are still in the hospital. WJZ is live outside the Baltimore Convention Center.
It's one of the area's mass vaccination sites. Rachel Menitoff is there explaining the newest trends reported. Rach?
Hi, Rachel and Max, good evening. We are seeing some really positive trends right now. So, for example, the state's positivity rate has been falling for the last 5 days in a row and remains below 5% for the first time in a long time. On Friday, Governor Larry Hogan met with lawmakers in the Oval Office. He says he had a productive hour-and-a-half-long conversation with President Biden, where he urged him to pass bipartisan COVID relief legislation.
But if it's a take-it-or-leave-it Democratic bill, we have Republicans that are being obstructionists, you have Democrats that are enforcing their will. It's not going to be as easy to get things done like on infrastructure or rebuilding our economy.
The governor touted the work of Maryland lawmakers who passed $1.5 billion in COVID relief earlier this month.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is about you can get people on the other side to come together when in the middle of a crisis.
Nearly 10% of the population has received a first dose of the COVID vaccine. That's nearly 640,000 people. Although the problem persists, demand is much higher than the supply. Over the weekend, the Baltimore Convention Center started administering first doses, and later this month, M&T Bank Stadium will follow suit. Maryland's positivity rate is on a steady decline, now below 5%. Hospitalizations and ICU usage are at their lowest point since before Thanksgiving. On this Valentine's Day, Montgomery County is reopening indoor dining at 25% capacity. And in Baltimore, Councilman John Bullock was handing out sweet treats, including masks, as a reminder that all of the precautions we've become accustomed to are still important.
We know that the rates are dropping, but they're still high enough that it's a danger to them.
And during a pandemic that's left many people increasingly isolated,
it's important that we stay connected to each other because we need each other.
And here in the city, the 7-day positivity rate is at 3.1%, which represents a 50% decline in just the last month. Live outside the Baltimore Convention Center, I'm Rachel Menitoff for WJZ.
The Food and Drug Administration moved too quickly to allow coronavirus antibody tests. That's the message from two top officials within the agency. Last year in March, the FDA allowed developers to market tests without emergency use authorization. The test warned it was not FDA reviewed, but officials say that didn't stop the market from being flooded with poorly performing tests. Two doctors wrote about the debacle in the New England Journal of Medicine. The race to vaccinate America is accelerating and hit a new milestone this weekend. 50 million shots were administered, with 13 million more people getting their second dose. Lillian Luciano reports for WJZ from Los Angeles that the battle against coronavirus variants is still a threat.
Long lines today at an LA super site, but these people are the lucky ones. They're getting a shot. Vaccine shortages are forcing 5 LA city sites to shut down temporarily, and the ones that are still open are mostly for second shots. Officials here say they could give 600,000 doses a week if they had the supply. Staffing, though, is not an issue. The military is stepping in to help at a new site.
Our DoD providers are ready to go. They're ready to work to make sure that we get vaccinations in arms as soon as possible.
Only 3.3% of Californians have been fully vaccinated, and nationwide, more super sites are up and running. But there is growing concern about the COVID-19 variants. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky with this warning on Face the Nation.
Now is the time to not let up our guard. Now is the time to double down.
Still in Atlanta, tens of thousands of people this weekend crowded indoors for a national cheerleading competition. This just days after Georgia hit a new single-day death record. Los Angeles ICU nurse Mariana Roman says she's seen too much death from surge after surge.
Tell me what it's like to leave here and your interactions with your family, with your community. How do you deal with that difference?
They don't understand that, like, 1 minute, when a patient is on their bellies, and then you turn them over and then they code on you. It's a lot.
COVID cases are dropping, and as of today, almost 6 million Californians have gotten a shot. But here in LA County, officials are anxiously awaiting to find out just how many doses they will get this week. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And Governor Larry